رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله وما توفيق واعتصامي إلا بالله. فسبحان الذي قال في كتابه الكريم وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له شهادة منجية من عذاب الله، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله داعيا إلى الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى أولاده وأزواجه وخلفائه الراشدين المرشدين المهديين من بعده. أما بعد فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله وأطيعوه إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون. قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن التقويم ثم رددناه أسفل السافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فمن يكذبك بعد الدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين. Our subject today is about the purpose of life and purpose of the world and purpose of the human beings. I think it's a very important subject. We need to know why we are alive. Yes, we do pray, yes, we do fast, yes, we do worship, but what is our real purpose? How do we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way that He wants us to worship Him and to get to know Him and to love Him? Ma'rifatullah is very important. If we have Ma'rifatullah, meaning knowledge of Allah, about His attributes, about His 99 Asma al-Husna, وَلَهُ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. Rasulullah tells us, he says, call Him with His beautiful names, with His attributes. He says, as you know, every art needs an artist. Even a small needle needs a maker. Small letter needs an author. A small village needs a headman. This universe running in order, it has to have a ruler. The order doesn't happen by accident. Lot of planning, lot of power, lot of wisdom. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us through the hadith, He says, كنت كنزا مخفيا وخلقت الخلق ليعرفون. He says, I was hidden treasure. I created the creation to get to know me. How do we get to know Allah? We don't see Him, but how do we see Him? Through His Asma al-Husna, through His creation. The best mirror to Allah's attributes, Allah's qualities, is the human being. He gave us basar, He gave us seeing ability. Then our maker can see. Because if you are blind, you cannot make an eye that can see. Think about it. If you are blind, imagine you call someone on the street. Come here, he's blind. You say to him, make me an eye that can see. You're asking something impossible. He doesn't know what seeing is. How can he make something to see? So you imagine you call someone deaf. You say, make me an ear that can hear. It's impossible. Imagine someone unintelligent. You tell him, make me an intelligent product or intelligent mind. It's impossible. True? Someone doesn't have life. Can they create life? No. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-Hayy al-Qayyum, He is creating everything in this universe and keeping it in this existence constantly. Al-Qayyum, keeping it to continue its existence. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts the name of Qayyum, everything disperses and gets dissolves. It would not exist. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not manifest His name al-Hayy, it is impossible for anyone or anything to have a life. So when the sun reflects its light and its colors, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all His attributes are nur. So His power is nur, His seeing ability nur, His hearing ability nur, His light ability, all of them, all these attributes are nur. They penetrate through the whole universe. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you life through His name, al-Hayy, that's when you have life. As soon as He pulls it, then you die immediately. So that means, how do we get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He says He created the universe first. Let's look at the universe. Why did Allah create the universe? He says He created the universe as an art gallery. He created the sun like a lamp. He created the heavens a beautiful ceiling. And He's using the wind like a paintbrush, beautifying the heavens of the earth constantly for us. When it's raining, it's beautiful. When it's sunny, it's beautiful. When it's snowing, it's beautiful. When it's winter, it's beautiful. When it's autumn, it's beautiful. When it's spring or summer, it's all beautiful. We all, in our lives also, we have sometimes autumn, sometimes spring, sometimes summer, sometimes winter. Isn't that true? So, because whatever happens in the universe, it happens in our nature as well. You know, we are going through sometimes like winter time. When the raining, it seems like we're never going to have the sun again. You know, you have all these problems running, raining on you. You think this never going to stop. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just testing you. It goes by three. One musibah, one misfortune, another one. That's enough. You can't handle no more. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings like the summer. It brings like this spring. Beautiful fragrances. The sun comes out. The birds start singing. And then you feel like this is the best. This is like the summer, springtime. Everything going well. I'm getting rich. My children are excellent. My wife is good. My work is excellent. But it doesn't continue like that. Just sometimes like this, down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes goes straight, then some hill, uphill. It's like the Iron Man. Why did they put all these challenges in front of the Iron Man? Is it to make life difficult for him or to build him up? Build him up. He's got sometimes he has to swim, sometimes he has to run, sometimes he has to climb, sometimes to, everything. So then at the end, it makes him an Iron Man. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to make our spirit, our nature, like an Iron Man. So He puts you through hardships, through problems, through sicknesses. If there was no darkness, you wouldn't know the value of light. How would you know the light is beautiful? You wouldn't appreciate it. It wouldn't make you happy. If there was no pain, would you know the value of pleasure? You can't. If there was no sicknesses, would you know the value of health? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates the sickness, then you get to know Him with His name of Shafi. When you love Allah, you say, He's Shafi, He gave me health. He gives you need, then Ar-Razaq, Ar-Rahman comes to your rescue and He provides food for you. And then that way you love Him for that person, for that nature, for that character. The Ar-Razaq, Ar-Rahman. He's the one that is a provider. That's why when we say, Alhamdulillah Rabbi Alameen, you know what it means? It means that He is the provider, He is the ruler, of the whole universe. As He's running our body, every cell, He's running the whole universe and He's full control. He says, look at how I'm holding billions of stars in the air without any columns and pillars. No pillars. Holding the whole universe in the air. Can you believe that? The whole earth is in the air. Can you believe that? Every hour, 104,600 kilometers an hour. Since we started talking, the earth has moved about at least 10,000 kilometers. Can you believe that? We don't even feel it. Endless power, endless wisdom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed the earth like a spaceship. He made the mountains like a mast in the ship balancing the earth. And He's sending us in the sea of the universe, showing us different parts of His kingdom. He gave us all these senses to judge His values, to get to know His beautiful attributes, and to develop love, muhabbatullah. When you have ma'rifatullah, that reach to muhabbatullah. Why? Because all His, attributes of Allah, the Asma al-Husna, they're all very beautiful. So because they are all perfect as well, al-Kamal, all the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's all Kamal, meaning perfect in every sense. His justice is perfect, His mercy is perfect, His kindness, His forgiveness, His generosity, His wisdom, everything about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all His attributes are perfect. So when you get to know Allah, then you love Him. That's how the muhabbatullah, enters in our hearts. So as much as you have that knowledge, ma'rifatullah, then you love Allah more. And then you want to pray day and night. You want to forgive people for Allah's sake. You want to do all the good deeds that Allah loves. إِن كُنتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِ يَحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ. Why did Allah love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam so much? Why? Because He manifested all His attributes in His life, like a mirror. How? When the time no one will forgive Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, He forgave. True? Generosity. One day, this man comes, he sees all these sheep and goats and everything. He says, oh, so many flocks of them, He says, but they all belong to you. He said, yes. He says, you are so rich. He says, you want some? He says, yes. He says, take as much as you want. He gives him. And he said, oh, you still have plenty. He says, you want more? He says, yes, take. Then he says, a little bit more. He says, you still have plenty. He says, you want them all? He says, yes. So are you joking, sort of thing? You know, like he's looking at him, he's like, are you joking? How is it possible for a person to give all these animals? You know, imagine if you slaughter one animal, you think you've done a big job, isn't it? Like, you think, oh, I'm very generous now, I gave it to the poor people. But Rasulullah had thousands of them. You know, all his wealth, he spent it for Allah's sake. He's got nothing left when he passed away. Nothing. You know, so that's why we should be rich. You know, when you become rich, the Muslim should become rich. Should be very knowledgeable. You know, and that way you use that for Allah's sake. Help people, do good places, build schools, build mosques, you know, and help people that way. That's how Rasulullah did. And when, you know, he gave everything away, Allah loves him for another, you know, attribute of Allah manifesting on him. You know, generosity, Jude, you know, generosity. And then the man went to his village. They said, where did you get all this? They maybe probably told him, you just steal this, you know. How come you're a poor person with thousands of, you know, sheep belong to you now? Where did you get it from? He said, Wallahi, this man, this man is unbelievable. He's not scared of being poor. And he gave everything to me. He said, Wallahi, he must be a prophet. Then everyone came, they said, we want to become Muslims. Look, one attribute. And then Rasulullah, he never hit one of his wife at all his life. Think about it. You know, when Hazrat Aisha gets upset, you know, Hazrat Abu Bakr heard the voice. He came in, he wants to hit her. He said, no, stop, don't. And when he left, he said, didn't I save you from this angry man? You know, from Hazrat Abu Bakr. Look at the nation, that how he's joking words with the wife, you know, not like, I'm going to hit you, I'm going to bash you, I'm going to kill you, I'll break your nose, nothing like that, you know, never hit. Hazrat Anas was with him for so long, you know, for so long. 9 years, I think I've heard, that he said, well, he never told me, why did you do this, why did you do that? He never screamed at me. All teaching with his back, you know, and a good example. And then what happened? SubhanAllah. Think about it. If you take all these people now, all these philosophers to Saudi Arabia, and with all this technology that we have today, and you try what Rasulullah has achieved in 1 year, you spend 100 years, you cannot achieve what he has achieved. SubhanAllah. Why? So that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved him. Why? Because of his character. Because it's like your father. You know, when he teaches, say you have a perfect father, okay? And very forgiving, very kind, very generous, very wise person. And he teaches you all these good qualities. Then you manifest those qualities in your life, like a mirror. He looks at you with your mother. He says, look at you know, Ibrahim. Look, we taught him all these good qualities. Everyone loves him. He's such a kind person, very generous, very kind, very, you know, and then people tell him, mashallah, you taught your kids amazing, you know, Ibrahim is an amazing person, very kind, very generous, very forgiving, very, and then they become proud. Rasulullah tells us, when people become, you know, with a beautiful character, and they worship Allah, and they love Him, and they have knowledge, they have wisdom, they're good to their neighbors, they're good to their friends, they're very honest, they keep their words, everything, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes so proud. He says, He calls the angels, He says, look, this human being that I have created, look how beautiful they are. The most important, do you remember that the Sahaba, 4 of them, they were about to die. They all been, you know, wounded badly, and He says, money, water, water. And then He says, you know, I had some, the first, you know, Sahaba is telling us the story. He says, I had some water. He said, he said, I took it to him. He's about to drink. He says, the second Sahaba said, water, money. He says, take it to him. Imagine, you're intense heat in Saudi Arabia. You are wounded badly, all this blood running, and sand, you can't even step on it. That in this case, you know how much water you need? Like, you couldn't care less about anybody else. You probably kill the people and give them the water to drink it. What did he do? The Sahaba, he says, give it to the other person. He takes it to the other person. Then he's about to drink. He said, the third Sahaba said, Mai, water. And then he says, take it to the fourth one. And the fourth one, he's about to drink. He heard the first one, Mai, water. Then he says, he went there, he's already passed away. SubhanAllah, he kept shaheed. He said, Wallahi, I went to the second one. He says, already shaheed. I went to the third one to give it to him, at least, make it. He says, Wallahi, he was also shaheed. He said, the fourth one, I turned to the fourth one, he was also shaheed. Can you believe that? Think about it now. We are living in a very selfish, materialist world. And that's why, we need to hear these kind of things. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent ayah for this. He said, Allah loves those, that action, attributes of, at that time, inside, that you're not thinking of yourself, you're thinking of others. This is very important. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved Rasulullah. So how are we going to get Allah to love us? He said, in kuntum tuhibbun Allah, if you love Allah, he said, fattabi'uni, follow my good example. The one that I'm sharing now. This is the akhlaq of Rasulullah. We follow that example, then Allah will love us. But we also have knowledge of, the Asma' al-Husna in order to manifest it in our lives. Not like, if I tell you, be generous, brother. Yeah, thank you. But if I say, Allah is generous, and Rasulullah is generous, you look at that good example, and Allah will love you for that purpose. Then you think twice. You say, if I'm not, Allah is not going to love me. Because Allah's love, it depends on that, So, is it the time yet?
No, yet.
No? Okay? Okay. So, how do we get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? By the Quran is teaching us. There is two Sharia, two Quran. One Quran is the universe. Ayatullah, everywhere. Every each of you is the ayah. Meaning miracle. Allah is created as a miracle creation. You are the masterpiece of Allah's creation. That He manifests all His attributes on you. There is no other creation in the universe that manifests Allah's attributes like you. Can you believe that? What did you do to become a masterpiece of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Nothing. Just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us and gave us this, great opportunity to hit it very big and forever. Otherwise, all our achievements in life, what's going to be? It's like, please remember this word that I say now. It's like building sandcastles along the beach. When the tide comes, it washes everything away. All your houses, all your cars, all your success, everything that you can imagine that you have, you're a billionaire, 100 billion in your bank. When you die, it's just like building sandcastles. As much as you build more around the sea, you get hurt more when you're about to lose it. Isn't it? When the tides start coming, say, oh my God, I built all this car here, I built all this house here, I built all this, all this, but unfortunately it's going to go now. So that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving us lots of examples in the Quran, something similar to this, to wake us up. Allah wants to give you eternity, He says you want the dunya, the one that is temporary, transient. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also, He's got so much mercy. He wants us, to let go of our old ones. You know what He does? Out of His mercy. He makes them, sick. He makes them, falling apart, slowly. When they get old, they can't walk, and the pain here, pain there, the sickness is there, the teeth is falling, and it's like, then you say among your brother or wife, I think we've got to let go from our father. Look at him, poor thing is suffering. Then you let go. Otherwise, believe me, if everyone, like this brother, mashallah, built, and he's young, and he just goes like this. You know how difficult it would be? All of us, like we just, stay in this state, and we die like that. When they die, how much it hurt. We couldn't survive, believe me. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been amazing. And wisdom, He gave us the wisdom. He created the wisdom. So then what He does, He gives you sickness, He gives you this. But sometimes He calls surprise, shock. what he does, he takes away someone young, 34 years old. He takes 20 years old. He said, hey, be careful, you could do any time. Say, don't feel too comfortable. You're not gonna be here forever. So he's just waking you up, me too, everyone, So then I said, oh, no one has a guarantee. There are a lot of people young in the graveyard. So I better be smart, isn't it? So Allah is so merciful. He does that sometimes. If he didn't, only taking away the old one, believe me, most of us, all our life will be serious, most of us. Then when we're getting old, 70, 80, 90, whatever, and like, now I better pray. Now I better go to Hajj. While you're going, you drop there, But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has so much mercy. He wants us to be very fruitful. That's why He gives us all these opportunities, for us to develop. He encourages us for knowledge. He says, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق. Iqra, read, learn, develop. You know how I said there's two Quran? The other Quran is from the Kalam, from Kalamullah, the Hajj. He just read it, mashallah, beautiful, Surah Al-Kahf. So you read the Quran, the universe, the Quran, this is the tafsir of the universe. The Quran is the tafsir of the universe. He shows you how Allah, creates and how He kills, and then He resurrects again. He says, فانظر إلى آثار رحمة الله كيف يحيي الأرض بعد موتها إن ذلك لمحيي الموتى وهو على كل شيء قدير. He says, look at the manifestations of Allah's mercy. Look, after all these trees, they become skeleton-like in winter and autumn. True? All the leaves fall, all the fruits fall, all the skin of the tree dies. Yes? Skeleton. Dead. The branches like the arms, and the trunk of the tree like our body. And the roots like your legs and feet. Okay? Think about it now. You got all these skeletons, the trees like the skeletons. You look at them, you say, no way, he will never come back to life again. How is it possible? They're all piece of wood. They died. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us an example. He says, Fanzur, not just glance through, but nazar. You know how they say, nazar, when you look when you focus, sometimes you hit the person and they die sometimes. You're too powerful with eye. He says, Fanzur, meaning look closely with the wisdom. Think about what you are looking, what you are seeing. So that's why he says, Fanzur ila asar rahmatillah. Look at the manifestations of Allah's mercy. Look closely, think about it. How Allah He's going to resurrect all the trees, they become like heavenly huri. You know huri? You heard of the huri, everyone loves the huri. Especially the man. He says, like a huri, like the trees, Allah's like putting all this, what do you call them, necklaces and bracelets and all these things, in spring and summertime, He puts beautiful fragrance on them, like a thread, like a beautiful bride. Okay? Then He gives all the leaves, all the fruit, all the flowers, and beautifies them again. He says, look, can't you see? They all become skeleton like you become skeleton when you die. Look, in front of your eyes, I resurrected them in such a short time. No need for them for millions of years. In front of your eyes, I kill them, I resurrect them. Every year in winter and autumn, so He gives us also a message. In when you are young, it's like springtime is like you're very young, like 10, 11 years old, something. But later on, you are 18, 20, like the brother now, mashallah. Okay, he's 20 years old, 22 years old, very powerful. This is our summertime. Okay, then autumn time, slowly. Maybe my age, maybe I'm in winter time or autumn time, I'm not sure. Imagine, you're going down slowly. You know how the trees lose their leaves? They lose their skin slowly. They're falling apart. No more fruits, they're dead. And then, winter time, they die. So, same with us, springtime, is when you're very young, the summertime, the most powerful when the sun, in the middle. The day also has, beginning, developing, then getting old, then dies. How? In the morning, the sun is coming, and that reminds us the spring. Then the lunchtime, the day comes to in the middle, now the young time. all the energy from the sun, it burns you. So that's why very powerful at that moment. Then later on, going down slowly, towards the, it's going to go away. Okay? So slowly sliding. It's going towards autumn, then, like the autumn time, then it goes into grey, winter time. So that's why when we are praying 5 times a day, we are remembering all those things, those times. We have our springs, we have our summer, our winter and everything else. So that means the day is going to die, the earth is going to die, and the human beings are going to die. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, look, all those trees in front of your eyes. Imagine if He gave us, all these scissors and He gave us the textile. You don't have to make the textile. He's going to give it to you. Cut them in pieces, like make some leaves, make some fruit like plastic, and just stick them to the tree. Think about it now. All our job would be, He said, look, this year I'm not going to give you any fruit. And no leaves, okay? Now, no flowers. I want you to all make them from plastic and just stick them there. See how much you're going to make. How can you succeed? Just you're going to nail it or put it with a screw, You know how difficult that would be? All our job would be just, cutting the, what do you call them, the leaves and the flowers and all that and try to stick it there. You know how difficult? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, without touching. لا وله الأسماء الحسنى وهو على كل شيء قدير. He's able to do anything you want. Then He creates them back again, just like the little street on there. You can see all coming back to life again. He says, our life here now is autumn and winter. The Muslims, they're going to have spring and summertime in eternal life. When we are resurrected again, like the trees, that's when we're going to have real spring and summer forever, inshallah. That is very important for us to know. And He gives another example. He says, look at the seeds. He buried them inside the earth, and it seems like they're gone forever. But He says, look at your death. You think that it's the same, isn't it? They're gone forever. You bury the dead, they're gone forever. Never going to come back to life again in the day of judgment. Is that what it seems like? It isn't it? Like the person died. What a poor thing. He died. He's gone. He's falling apart. But, subhanAllah, Allah gives us the example of the seeds. Billions of seeds, imagine, billions, trillions in the world, that He knows exactly what they need. He gives them all the things that they need, and He resurrects them. Imagine the earth and the rock on top of them, but this is soft like silk. How is it penetrating? He says that in the Quran, I break the earth for you. For them, even the so soft, they penetrate through that, and then He gives all these beautiful fruits and beautiful flowers. He says, that's how I'm going to resurrect you. When you bury your dead, seems like they go forever. No. I'm showing you an example of it constantly, trillions of them. For me, it's very easy. So that's why we need to understand that Allah is always in control. كل يوم هو في شأن, meaning He's constantly doing a lot of things at the same time. Time? Yeah. Okay. I asked, they said no. Maybe they enjoy it, they don't want to go. And what can I do? Inshallah, another week maybe if we are able to do, we'll continue the same subject. And because we want the Iman to be very strong, and because the shaitan and the haram is so attractive now. So when you have the Iman foundation, then it's easy to build on it. When you say you're going to enjoy forever, how do you know? But when you give them examples like this, Quran is giving that, and he said, okay, I tried, I don't mind praying 5 times a day because Allah like that, I need to make shukr. How can I make Allah happy? So then you try very hard. You can do it. إن أحسن الكلام والأنزام كلام الله الملك العزيز العلام كما قال الله عز وجل في كلام إذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا وانصتوا لعلكم ترحمون. الأحياء منهم الأموات إنك سميع قريب برحمتك. الحمد لله حمد كامل والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأولين والآخرين محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم تعظيما للنبي وتكريما لفخامة شأن شرف الصفي فقال عز وجل من قائل مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Inshallah, I'm just going to make some salawat, quick, and if you can follow in Arabic, it would be beautiful. If you can't, just say, at least do salawat. Otherwise, you say amin if you can't. ألف ألف صلاة وألف ألف سلام عليك يا رسول الله. ألف ألف صلاة وألف ألف سلام عليك يا حبيب الله. ألف ألف صلاة وألف ألف سلام عليك يا أمين وحي الله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه بأعداد أوراق الأشجار وأمواج البحار وقطرات الأمطار. واغفر لنا وارحمنا واغفر لنا أستاذنا والدينا وتابعات الإسلامية يا إلهنا بكل صلاة منها. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. أقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.